When I woke the next morning, the Namu were gone. Bits of food on the floor and strands of white fur were all that remained. They were proof that the night before had been real. Outside, daylight filled the snowfield. The storm had passed. Kino came from the kitchen carrying a cup that smelled of coffee. He said he had been awake for about 10 minutes. The Namu had left around dawn. The network was beginning to recover, though the connection was still unstable. He planned to contact the observatory and check conditions there. He wanted to avoid another breakdown on the way. We ate a simple breakfast of coffee and bread. Afterward, we went downstairs and called the observatory. The staff member who answered, the system had not fully recovered, but the mobility vehicle could now be driven manually. Once we heard that, we decided to walk back to where we had left it. Outside, the snow was deeper than before. I wondered how long it had continued during the night. Morning light reflected from the white surface and hurt my eyes. The path we had followed the day before was gone beneath fresh snow. Even so, things were better than they had been yesterday. Yesterday we had no certainty that we would reach the shelter before dark. Now we were heading toward a road that could not be missed, and we knew the vehicle was there. Kino checked our direction carefully and set off ahead. The deeper snow slowed us down. Then I heard a soft crunch. A Namu stepped out from between the trees. There were 2 large ones and a smaller one, the family from yesterday. The young Namu came toward us, making small sounds. It no longer limped. It looked healthy. Kino called out. Perhaps it was a Namu word. The 2 adults answered and came to stand beside us. Then they waited, as though expecting something. It looks like they're offering us a ride, Kino said. What? Before I could say more, he had already climbed onto the back of one of them. The other Namu looked at me and made a sound dot. It felt like a request, or an instruction. I hesitated only a moment. Then I climbed onto its back. But how would they know where we wanted to go? There were no reins, no way to guide them. The thought lasted only a second. The world suddenly rushed past. It felt like watching a racing game, except this was real. I could only cling to the Namu's fur. The animal ran between the trees without hesitation. It seemed to glide across the snow. When I looked up, we had left the forest. We stood beside a wide road. The journey had felt no longer than an instant. Ahead, Kino pointed towards something and spoke to the Namu. A shape sat beneath the snow. It was our mobility vehicle. The Namu slowed and stopped beside it. We climbed down. The young Namu stood close behind us. Seeing it move so easily, I felt relieved. Its injury seemed gone. The child stepped toward me and stretched out a forepaw. I took it gently and stroked it. The Namu narrowed its eyes and made a soft sound. As we prepared to board the vehicle, Kino spoke to the Namu once more. One of them answered with the same word. It means thank you, Kino said. The observatory stood halfway up the mountain. It took another 2 hours to reach it. Once there, I unpacked my equipment and began work. The job involved replacing hardware and running a few checks. It took about 30 minutes. Compared to the effort of getting there, it was almost disappointing in its simplicity. By the time I finished, the transportation system had fully recovered. The vehicle could return to the airport under automatic control. That meant I would be traveling alone. While Kino checked the vehicle settings, I stepped outside and breathed the mountain air. It was cold and clear. I had rarely seen mountains like these. Then a small Namu came running toward us. A boy of 7 or 8 rode on its back. What are you doing here? Kino called. Nothing. I was heading to see a friend anyway. The boy laughed. He jumped down with practiced ease and took a bottle from the bag hanging at his shoulder. What about school? The boy's face resembled Kino's. Perhaps he was his son. School's off, of course. The system's down. He climbed back onto the Namu. and rode away. Kino shook his head and returned to the vehicle. I climbed in as well. Looking at the terminal screen, I asked something I had been wondering. Why had he come back to Namurguru after living on other planets for so long? Well, he said, there happened to be a job opening here. Then he smiled. And we had just learned we were going to have a child. He paused. There aren't many educational options here. One day my child will probably have to leave for another planet. Then he continued. But I thought it would be a good place to spend a childhood. Snow began to fall again on the way to the airport. Beyond the window stretched a white world where sky and ground seemed to merge. There were many things this place lacked. Yet it was rich in its own way. I looked down at my hand. It felt as though the warmth of the young Namu still remained there. I curled my fingers slightly, as if to make sure.